My name is Deshaun Jackson. I am a foster care alum, and I also work as the Children's Safety Policy Manager with the Children's Advocacy Alliance. One of the things that I would want prospective foster parents to know about foster care and foster youth is that it's not necessarily an easy thing. I think it's one of those things where you have to come in with an open mind. I think it's one of the best things that you can do, because what you're doing is you're help molding and shaping life. You literally have someone's life in your hands, and I think that's a powerful thing. And I think for foster parents to understand, or prospective foster parents to understand, is you have the ability to mold and to shape the next generation. And to me, that's powerful. That's big. And I think in that shaping and in that process, you have the ability to make an impact that stretches far beyond how long you'll keep the youth. And I think that does something. I think it's powerful. And so, if anything, that would be the biggest thing, because I think once we really understand the impact that we have when we take in or we have foster youth, and we understand the power that we have, and we understand how important it is and how big our job is in pushing and also impacting and motivating our vulnerable youth. So I did have a foster parent that helped me in a new home. It was my last foster home. And it was a man. He had an organization, and what helped me out was him making it comfortable and allowing me the freedom to simply be me, or learn how to be me and grow. And he didn't push anything on me. I remember walking into his home, and on the bed, and this was the first day, there was a book by Hill Harper called Letters to Young Brother. And that was all, and he didn't say anything. He left the book there. Of course, I read through it, but it was just that small thing of him allowing me the opportunity to grow into this space and to have this opportunity to not be bombarded with a lot of things, or to let me figure it out on my own. Allow me to take, for the first month, I didn't really talk to him at all. It was mainly yes and no. He gave me that opportunity to kind of open up and grow and appreciate or accept who he was, and he in return did the same. The advice I would give to prospective foster parents is that you have to allow them to grow and to be them. I think it's important that there's a stigma on foster youth already, and I think when we give into that stigma of what a foster youth is supposed to be and how a foster youth is supposed to act, then we tear down what a foster youth really is. And it's so much more than the stereotypes that have been placed out there. I would say give them time to grow. You have to understand that most foster youth come from a traumatic place, and they are placed with strangers, and they identify and understand that I'm placed with this stranger, and because I'm placed with this stranger, I need time to, one, adapt to where I'm at, two, accept where I'm at. But it would really be, give them time and be in there, because it won't be all pretty all the time. One of the biggest and best things that my foster dad did was he was there through every battle, every challenge, and every reward, and every exciting moment. But it was that he was consistent and he was there. And that's one of the things one of the biggest advices that I would give to foster parents is simply be there and show that you care, but also mean that you care, because kids in general pick up on whether you are authentic or not. So there was some communications between my foster parent and my biological parent, but it was mainly my foster dad and my family in general that had the most contact. I don't think that played a role. What it showed me was he was able to show me, or allow me to see that sometimes it's best to take a break and to step back. That relationship, though they didn't develop a relationship themselves, that allowed me to see two different perspectives, one healthy and maybe one not as healthy. But his willingness to take me over there, or to allow me to spend time with my biological family, was big. And I think we sometimes have this misconception that the foster parent and just the biological parents, but it's also the family that's attached, the grandmothers, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins. That's a big part when it comes to foster youth. One of the things is that, you know, foster youth are taken from their entire family, not just the parents. And so I think him having and pushing for me to have a relationship with all of my family was important, and it was big, because that allowed me to, even after I emancipated or aged out, that gave me the opportunity to continue to build on those relationships or pursue those relationships if I wanted to. And that was big. He didn't push it on me. He encouraged me to, you know, stay in contact with my family, go over, see him. And that was big. Yeah. They are. My foster dad, the last foster home I was in, he has been the biggest support that I've ever had. And that has been one of the most powerful and biggest relationships that I've had in general. I walked into foster care not being able to talk to men due to the various abuse. And he showed me, one, how to be a man, but two, how to authentically love and give back. And that's one of the best relationships that I've ever had. I have worked for him. I have rented out an apartment from him. To this day, I just seen him the other day. We have one of the best relationships ever. If I don't text him in a day or two, he is texting and calling me all the time. It's one of those, and we're not too far apart in age, probably about 15 years, but it's like this father-brother relationship. It is one that I have never thought that I would have. And I was just thinking back, talking to at this house the other day, and I was talking to another friend about what made the most impact. And I remember standing in court, and there was no one else that I recognized, but I remember seeing him sitting at the table, and I'm sitting on the opposite end. And I couldn't tell you what the judge had said. I couldn't tell you how the judge looked. All I remember doing was looking at this man sitting there and understanding that he truly did care. That in what I felt was my darkest time, here's this stranger, this man that is here. And from that table that he sat at to this very moment, he has been with me throughout it all. The ups, the downs, the uglies. He has been consistent. He has been there. He tells me when I'm wrong. He tells me when I'm right. He pushes me further beyond my limits. I always say that he understood my value before I understood my worth. So one of the things that my foster dad did was simply, he made sure that he took time to take breaks. I remember when he first went out of town, he took us all out to go skating and to have dinner. He explained to us, hey, I'm going to go for a few days. I'm going to go, rest up on a trip. But that meant a lot. He explained to us exactly what he was leaving for, what was the thing. But he stressed the importance of self-care and taking that time and taking time to just breathe. He took us on trips, but there was also sometimes where you need time to just take to yourself. And that was something that he taught me at a young age that I even to this day take in, is sometimes you are of no use and no value to anyone if you're not healthy. And so he pushed that of being healthy of sound mind and spirit, and being able to show that, and then showing that you have to take care of yourself first, so that you can be of use and of value to someone else. In my growth and in my development piece of it, though, over the years I've learned how to, one, interact with different folks, but how also to, when I interact with youth, how to make sure that I am catering to their mental needs more so than I am to how I personally feel. And I authentically do care about the youth, but I think there's a part of us that have to step aside of sometimes our personal beliefs and cater to what a youth actually needs, mentally, spiritually, and physically. So that it doesn't matter what race, religion you are, that you have the ability to make an impact and a difference in the lives of every race and every color by simply putting away your biases or putting away your stereotypes and embracing the beauty of what it is. My favorite story is of the little boy and the starfish. And I love that story because it represents us as people. The starfish represent the foster youth, those that are vulnerable. And the little boy represents a foster parent in this case. And that's what I love about it is, and I look at myself, in my home to this day I have starfish hanging around because I want to remind myself that there was someone that picked me up in my weakest moment, in my dying moment dusted me off and threw me back into this ocean of life. And that resonates. I think that foster parents have that same ability to make that same impact. Yes, you can't save them all. Yes, you would love to, but you have the ability to make an impact to just one. And so to them, I say, pick them up, dust them off, and give them another opportunity, another chance to live and to learn and to grow and to be who they are, who they can be, and who they were created and destined to be.